Hello and welcome back to another One Piece card game update. I am basically Hawkins and I've got a few new pieces of information about the One Piece card game today. First off, if you go to Amazon.jp, that's the Japanese Amazon, you'll be able to start pre-ordering One Piece starter decks. They're in Japanese, obviously, and I think maybe some things are selling out pretty quickly right now. I know I wasn't able to get the One Piece booster Pack 1 box set that was sold out when I started looking, but a few of the starter decks are available, and more importantly, they give us a little bit of information about the decks themselves and sort of the construct of them. First of all, you see there are 17 types in all, which I believe means 17 different types of cards in the deck. You know, your captain, and then your various crew members, and probably powers and effects and stuff like that. And it gives us an idea of how many cards are in the deck in total, which is 51. Now it says 51 pre-constructed decks, but I'm pretty sure that means it's one deck that is pre-constructed with 51 cards. So that's probably going to be the standard size of decks. We don't know entirely what the deck's flexibility is in terms of size, but the Digimon card game, which is the most recent Bandai card game, is specifically 50 cards, no more, no less. So I'm going to assume that this is going to be kind of the same thing. So yeah, 51. That's probably 50 cards, 1 leader. Makes sense to me. And then 10 Dawn cards. I'm thinking that Dawn is the energy resource of the game. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then a play sheet, which will probably give you a layout of where cards are supposed to be at certain times of the game. So this is actually very helpful, and you'll be able to see this kind of information on all the starter decks pages. Also of note that the starter decks will be released July 8th. So now we have a firm, specific day that the pre-release is, or the normal release is going to be happening. Now, generally, all of the information about all of the starter decks that were given on the Amazon pages are generally the same. The one difference being the film starter deck, or starter deck 5, which everything seems to be the same there, but it's being released August 6th, so it's only going to be coming out a month after those first 4 starter decks, so we won't have to wait long for a second flood of new cards to come in, which is pretty exciting. We also have a little more information on the booster packs as a whole. We can see that there are going to be 121 different types of cards in this deck, in this pack, which is pretty good. That's a pretty standard size booster pack, but that gives us a lot of variations. I'm pretty excited about that. And it says here that one pack equals 6 cards plus 1 index, so that's probably just a list of all the cards that you can get in the pack. I believe when I was looking at the English website, it specifically said that we were getting 12 cards per pack. So I'm not sure if that's going to be different for Japan and America, but I'm pretty sure that we're getting 12 cards per pack, because 6 seems like not much. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's actually going to be 12. I don't like to speculate, but I think that's going to be 12. And you can see here that it's going to have 8 different leader types that can come in this, 45 commons, 30 uncommons, 26 rares, 10 super rares, and 2 secret rares, which is pretty much the same breakdown you'd get with the Digimon card game in terms of rarity. So yeah, it seems like things are kind of paralleling the Digimon card game, which is what I have the most experience in. The big difference being that leader type. It doesn't really say if the leader types fall into one rarity or another, but I have to assume they're not going to be that rare. Maybe 1 or 2 is going to be like super special rare, but you know, the leaders are kind of mandatory to have in decks, so I have to imagine that they're going to be somewhat easy to acquire so you can build decks around them. Otherwise, you know, the game gets a little harder to play. But yeah, as you can see, it's currently, at least for me, not available to buy anywhere. And the final piece of information we have about the One Piece card game comes straight from the page of Shonen Jump and by a Facebook user named Jason Larry, who was nice enough to translate it for us. We can see that Luffy, the leader card from the starter deck, actually does have effects on him, and we know what those effects are. We also see there's a second card here with some sort of plus 1,000 power type card, and we have a new look at the Luffy art from a Luffy card. Clearly not this leader card, but maybe an alt art, maybe a completely different Luffy card. But Holy moly, the art in this game is already looking incredible, so I'm very excited about that. And you can see here, Jason Larry has translated the Luffy leader card. It says main, Dawn, the energy source, I'm assuming, -3 once per turn. Release 3 Dawn, back to Dawn deck. So clearly there's going to be a Dawn deck, sort of your energy pool, your energy resources. Within this turn, this card power plus 5,000. So leader cards clearly can attack, they can get stronger, and they can affect the course of the game as a whole using this Dawn energy from a Dawn deck. And it says also, main once per turn, give 1 rested Dawn to your character or captain. So that's a very interesting effect, not knowing the rules yet, because that implies that the Dawn rests as probably a way of using it, and then you can also allocate your energy to different characters you have in your game. So I guess if you have Dawn, which I'm assuming is going to be a 10 card energy deck, you take that energy and you give it to certain characters or captains, and that allows them to do things. And this specific Luffy leader card allows you to allocate energy to other characters after you've already used it. So that I guess that, probably at the beginning of your next turn, you unrest all of your Dawn so that your energy is ready to use again, and now your energy is being used by a different character on your field. Very interesting. That's a pretty unique mechanic, that energy can be sort of allocated to one person or another. Very interesting. We don't know everything yet, but clearly Dawn is your energy. So that's all I've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if there's anything I missed, didn't cover, or you want me to cover in the future. All right, everyone, have a good one.